Today's episode of Dungeon Crawlers Radio is brought to you by Gamers Inn, your one-stop location for all your gaming needs. Located in Lehigh City, Utah, their fun and friendly staff will be more than happy to answer any of your gaming needs. Just remember, Gamers Inn, it's where adventures begin.
It's time to power up.
Autobots, roll out! Broadcasting live from the DCR studio.
Oh yeah!
The Geek Revolution starts here.
Excellent!
Get ready for the #1 hit geek radio show out there.
Well, it is impressive, isn't it?
Because it's time for Dungeon Crawlers Radio.
Let's get ready to rumble!
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for.
Alright everyone, welcome to another episode of Dungeon Crawlers where, well, Scott has the plague and is dying a horribly vicious death. And McKay is permanently lost in the time stream, and who knows if we'll ever see him again. Maybe
Right,
Doc
Scott,
Brown can save
If you're
him.
listening to this, Scott, once I get my hands on you, you're in trouble for not showing up. Thanks a lot.
He's dying!
He already has enough physical illnesses to deal with, and now he's got physical threats against his health.
I'm sure we can find
come
someone
on.
specializing in necromancy to bring him back.
Suck
Wait.
it up. Suck it up,
We can
Scott.
find a cleric, they can resurrect him, and then she'll beat the crap out of him again.
There you
And then
go.
resurrect him, and then beat him up again. That'll happen about 4 or 5 times, and then she'll let him off
This
the hook.
sounds like a very
Or
morbid
a
version of
headshot.
Groundhog's Day.
Ooh.
I hate
Ooh, I like that idea.
So actually, funny you bring that up. Before we jump in, I actually came up with a book idea. We had a friend of mine come on that's another author, and we talked about it, and we actually came up with this concept that is very much like that, that the day restarts, but the only way to restart the day to do it over is to kill your best friend.
Now, does your best friend come back the next day?
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
And your best friend is aware of this, or does he
No,
like have
no,
to find out
your best
again
friend
every day?
cannot know, and you have the only way to reset anything is to kill them. You physically have to kill them. Now, if your best friend dies without you killing them, it doesn't happen.
And whose idea was this?
Mine and Allison Peterson's. It was
Oh,
awesome.
Lord. Okay.
Unfortunately, Scott was the main character.
Okay.
Oh, I don't like the how
main
this ends
character? I
because
thought you
I'm
were
a
saying
good
the guy
friend
who
of
needs to
Scott's.
die. Well,
Why am I having supernatural flashbacks like Sam and Dean?
I mean, I've always
anybody
wanted to say
remember
I'm
that
Scott's
episode?
best friend,
Oh,
but
yeah,
at this
yeah.
moment,
Yeah.
I kind of want to take it back.
Yeah,
Varen
it's kind of
does
like where
not
I'm
want
going.
to be Scott's best friend. Let's make it Wes.
Only in this scenario.
You can make it Wes.
it's okay, Scott. We really do love you. We
What if you
promise.
don't categorically have a best friend?
Then that's a problem. I don't know. But it all starts through an accident where he accidentally kills his best friend and things reset.
Oh, so is that how I found out who my best friend is?
I guess so. Yeah.
Oh,
You
okay.
accidentally killed your best friend?
Well, I crush hearts when I'm at Comic-Con, and that's where I meet
She
most
does
of the
play
people
Regina.
I love.
Yeah.
Oh.
She cosplays as Regina, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
First, I was like, what are you
And for
wearing
the
that
record, you
precious
will
Zelda
address me
boy's
as your
arm?
majesty.
Yeah. So.
Okay, your highness.
Yeah.
Majesty!
There it is.
Majesty? Oh, not even highness works?
Nope.
No, I'm a
Dicky,
queen, thank you
Dicky.
very much.
She's the queen.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And a high horse over there, too.
Yep.
You know
All right.
it.
So, on this episode, we're going to talk about, and this works actually really well because of your shirt, your opinion of the greatest superhero in comics.
That's like choosing your favorite child. I can't do that.
I'm
Well,
with
you don't
her
have
on
any
this. This
kids,
is-
so that shouldn't be too hard.
Sure I
have
do. He's
one
four-legged.
kid. And
But see, you only have one, so that's easy. You just pick him.
I've got a two-legged kid. And even still, I'm with her on this. I love my daughter, and I love all these superheroes.
You gotta pick one.
I can pick one I don't like.
Well,
The worst one ever.
So you're gonna pick the greatest.
I wanna hear about
and
this
then
one.
you're gonna pick the worst.
Oh, worst I can do.
Yeah. Everyone can do the worst.
Worst is easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not too hard.
So,
Greatest superhero.
so let's start with the worst then, and then we can go to the greatest. So
I'm
who
gonna get
wants?
shot for this.
Why?
Well, let's start over here then.
No.
We'll
Let's.
start with her.
Oh, you're gonna make me
We're
kick
gonna
it
start
off?
with you because you said, oh, it's easy.
He's the
It's
boss.
easy.
So who is it? Who?
Spider-Man.
You think Spider-Man is the worst.
What?
I actually agree.
What?
I'm sorry, Sam Raimi kind of ruined him for me a little bit.
Okay, why?
Okay.
Why?
Okay.
Okay, first off, the little whiny kid who played him.
Thank you.
What's his name?
Tobey Maguire.
You.
Yes.
I can't think of names tonight.
Okay, you're fine.
Okay, Tobey Maguire, tiny, whiny. And second, I cannot stand the girl that played Mary Jane.
So Kristen Dunst.
Kristen Dunst. Thank you. And so,
I agree. She wasn't the greatest choice.
And yet another blonde they turned into a redhead.
right?
Yes, but then you have
doesn't
Bryce
work.
Dallas Howard that was playing Gwen Stacy, which
Ooh,
is a
they turned
redhead
into
that
a
they turned into
blonde.
a blonde, and then you have Emma Stone, who is a redhead that they turned into
Actually,
a blonde.
no, she is a natural blonde. She just
Okay.
dyes it red.
Never mind then.
I just don't think
They turned him
red's
into a-
shooting out of your hands. Really
Okay, so if we're going off the
consists
Sam Raimi version of Spider-Man, yes, I will agree it's a piece of crap because Spider-Man has web shooters, and he's supposed to keep his mask on, not tear it off every chance he gets.
He's also an emo whiny brat.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
Are we forgetting the happy dance through Spider-Man
Spider-Man
2? Oh my
That was
gosh.
three.
Oh, that was 3.
Spider-Man
Sorry, my
3.
bad.
That
I
was
don't
number
know.
3.
That was number 3 when we introduced Venom, and which was horribly done.
It just got worse.
It did, it
Then,
did.
and they're trying to redeem themselves with this next one coming out, and then they're bringing Iron Man into it. Like, please.
But
No,
see,
wait,
I can
wait.
kind of get behind
No.
that one. That one's going to be
Now the
fun.
Sam Raimi version, obviously, the one that came back early 2000s. When those ones came out, there was a lot of big changes they did to it that they shouldn't have done. But the one thing I really liked about Tobey Maguire playing that part is the original Peter Parker is a skinny, whiny, bratty little. Yeah.
No.
Not
That's what
really.
I got from reading
So-
the comic books as
so
a kid.
he
was
is-
Have
was
you
a
seen the
scientific
animated
nerd.
series at all?
I
Yeah.
did watch the animated series,
So he was a little
but I
bit,
read more of the comics than
he
I
was
watched
a little
the series.
whiny when he first got the powers.
See, and I remember
with
that
Uncle
too.
Ben. And then after Uncle Ben dies, he completely
With great power comes great responsibility.
completely embraces who he's supposed to be, and he does everything he can to be Spider-Man. He doesn't whine about it.
Yeah.
Which is the one thing that in Spider-Man, which was annoying. He's always complaining that he's Spider-Man and blah, 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 and life
Well,
sucks. But
New York hates Spider-Man. Spider-Man doesn't have any friends except for those who are his friends outside of being Spider-Man.
I could argue J. Jonah Jameson's his friend.
honestly,
In
I
a
think that
twisted
Jay...
kind of way.
No, I think
Yeah,
Jay...
but I mean that goes along with the
I think he's
superhero
his
liking
greatest
the villain at
marketing
the beginning.
tool. He really is. I mean, he's constantly saying how horrible he is, but Spider-Man's constantly saving him. And at one point, he actually asked Spider-Man to help save his son. I mean, so yeah. But the whininess was done overboard in those movies. Yes.
There was a lot of things.
So
that
if
were
you're
done in
basing
those
your
movies that shouldn't have been.
Spider-Man assumption on that, I will
Well,
agree.
yeah, and
Wow.
I just think that Spider-Man.
Comic book wise, though, I have to disagree. But that's just because I read Spider-Man.
It's like,
forever.
I don't know. Couldn't he do anything else with his life besides crawl up a wall? I mean, he was supposed to be this super, intelligent guy, and he never did anything else but be Spider-Man.
Well, see, that's the thing about him being Spider-Man. He's a kid. He doesn't know how to fight. He didn't go across the world
Well-
learning martial arts like Batman.
Well, no,
He's not. He just suddenly had these superpowers thrust upon him.
Yeah.
And does he know fighting skill? No.
No.
He's up against
No.
this guy who's massive, 5 times his size,
Yeah, and he's
knows how to
figuring it
fight,
all out.
and all he has is his brains. So what does he do? He's a smart aleck. He says things that are probably going to upset the other guy, make him think
Yeah.
like he doesn't actually care about the fight that we're in, but at the same time he still wins because he's observant, watching around what's going on around him. He's got that little bit edge of
and his spider sense helps,
his spider sense.
which
does.
again they kind of ruined in that movie.
Well, I
But-
think
Yeah,
they
they
lost
did.
a lot of that was lost in translation with the Tobey Maguire, like the snappy comments,
Yeah.
the wittiness
There wasn't
of
as
the
many
character.
of them
It
in that
wasn't
movie.
there.
They didn't
Yeah.
pull it out. There was
And I
one
think-
comment, I think.
Which
Yeah,
I think they
something
did
like
really
that.
well.
Yeah, be quiet while mom and dad talk or something like that.
I think Andrew Garfield did a much better
Oh,
job
much
with
better.
the wittiness,
Yes.
Your
even though
writers,
his acting wasn't
your writers
as
As
are
good,
gonna
good,
be-
and
yeah.
the writing for those movies was a lot poorer. But okay, so we got Spider-Man.
Okay.
as
I have
the
another
worst.
one
All
that I
right.
just thought of.
All right, so Mackenzie's up with her worst.
Hal Jordan, Green Lantern.
Really?
Really, I'm sorry.
Wow.
I
That's
know
like
it's a
low
betrayal.
blow below the belt.
Dan, I'm your friend, But I also agree with her on this.
Wow.
Well,
All right.
here's my thing. I do not like when...
Are we going with movie Hal Jordan or comic book Hal Jordan?
Both.
Okay.
I'm going basically, yeah.
We're going
Go
basically
ahead, go
what?
ahead. It's not my turn.
Go.
It's not my turn.
Well, no, because my thing about Hal Jordan, as much as I can love the character in like a group setting, because I think he plays very well with Superman and Batman, they play him like the comic relief, but they also like bring him back down when they need to get serious.
Okay.
And in the comics, and when he's on his own, not so much from what I was reading. And granted, I grew up with like the 90s and the early 2000s, so that, I mean, Hal Jordan kind of...
You were reading about the time that Parallax had infected him and he went crazy and started killing everyone.
That sounds about right.
Okay, so after Rebirth with him, Hal Jordan becomes an amazing character again.
Oh, I stopped reading. Maybe I'll have to pick it up again.
Yeah. But no, I can agree with that. That's when he had the white on the sides, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So he was infected by Parallax, the entity of fear, which made him go crazy and became a very weak character. And then he started killing everyone. Yeah. So I will agree with that for that time frame, yes. And then the Ryan Reynolds betrayal, which is horrible. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
CGI suit. Oh my gosh, the
Ryan
horrible
Reynolds
mask.
is just hot in general, so
No.
I think Ryan Reynolds is hot, and I could totally look past that because they ruined it.
right?
I'm sorry, the animated
Do you agree on this as well?
version.
Ryan Reynolds is hot? I think I'm with him. He is a
No.
very attractive man.
No.
He's hot.
Sorry.
He's
Hey, I
totally
can
hot.
admit when
I have
Owen's
seen
hot.
him butt naked and no.
Are we talking?
Are you
Deadpool?
talking
Like
about
that teaser for the
In,
number
in
2
the
Deadpool?
proposal, he is butt naked. You see
Oh,
his
I haven't
butt,
seen
you
the
see
proposal.
his abs.
Have you seen the
The only thing you don't see is
teaser
the front.
trailer for Deadpool 2?
He has a nice ass.
So I
Throw him
did.
against the glass.
Yeah.
I'm not a romantic comedy person, so I'm just judging it purely off of him in Blade and also Deadpool and
Wolverine.
Wolverine. Oh my gosh, we won't even talk about Wolverine.
Wait a minute. I'm starting to feel like there's a lot of movies where Ryan Reynolds happens to take his clothes off.
It's
One of the things he likes to do, or is this just something that
I'm
directors
gonna go
are like,
with it,
hey,
Mike.
we need
I
more
think
women to
it's
watch
him.
this.
I think
I think
Drop
it's
some
him.
articles.
We'll just say he's he in some ways an
Exhibitionist?
exhibitionist. Yeah.
You bring up Wolverine.
I wouldn't be too
If I
surprised,
directed
to
that
be honest.
movie,
Yeah.
that man would never have clothes on. Not Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, okay. Hugh Jackman I can get behind, definitely. He's
Jackman.
yummy.
Yeah.
Alright.
That man would never.
So we
have
got Hal Jordan.
I'll
We've
say
got
that's one I don't see,
Spider-Man.
but I'm not
All right.
okay, so.
Who is the worst character in your mind?
Oh, you see, now I was going to go for Hal Jordan as well, but for a completely different reason.
All right.
Okay? I'm married.
All right.
Many people are.
Yes.
My wife is totally okay with me not wearing my ring.
All
I
right.
normally do construction anyway, so you don't wear a ring when you
Yeah.
do that
You
type
never
of stuff.
do because then you can lose a finger and all
Exactly.
sorts of stuff.
Exactly. But even without wearing my ring, I know I feel a lot less powerful when I do wear that ring. And I don't know of any other man who finds power from a ring. No offense. I
right.
see you're wearing a very nice blue ring yourself.
I have a green one at home too.
I know you do. But
Wait
yeah,
a
it's
minute.
just the whole anything I
makes me
imagine
so
now my
happy.
ring can make happen, and I feel like you got to work harder than that. I feel like you should have to work harder than that's like the kid on the playground is like, oh, my special power is everything. It's like, no, you can't fly around. His power's flying. This guy is super strong. This dude's invisible, so you got to pretend you can't see him. And then you got Timmy in the corner who thinks he can be every superhero in one. And I kind of feel like that's what they tried to do with Green Lantern's power.
Okay.
You have you read the comics?
Not many.
Okay, so the Green Lanterns, other than the ones from Earth, really only use their ring to fly, create shields, and shoot laser beams. The Lanterns from Earth are able to create constructs,
Because we have
Max.
imagination.
because we have imaginations. And then they start teaching that to the other ones. So Green Lantern's ability is actually a lot stronger than most.
His ability is his imagination.
It's really his imagination and how
You got
far
a
he
problem
can
with
stretch
that?
it. In fact, Hal Jordan is the
Well, it's
only.
still a little silly, though.
No,
And-
I think it's awesome.
I think it's and that's the part of the character I do love is that it's his power of imagination and his
Yeah.
force of will.
It's his will and his imagination. What does and
It sets him apart from the
Okay.
other aliens.
and then on
Okay.
top of that, Hal Jordan his will is so strong that he actually is able to destroy the Guardians, which is set in the rings that they can't harm the Guardians ever. So there's actually a comic shortly after the Rise of the Third Army in that, where Hal Jordan literally obliterates the Guardians.
Oh, I remember hearing about that.
And then he's casted out because that's like, there's like a couple of Guardians he kills, and that's not supposed to happen. That is like the rule one. But he overwrote, his will was so strong it overwrote the code in the rings, and he was able to destroy the Guardians that had been corrupted by Corona and gone crazy. Or no, it was Corona that he killed. Excuse me. And he was originally one of the Guardians, and he was the one responsible for creating the where Quart is, the anti-universe or whatever it's called.
I know which one, but the name escapes me.
Yeah, and so it was really interesting because everyone's like, "What? That can't happen." So, and again, this all happens after he's brought back to life, just before the Blackest Night series and stuff like that. So before, I will agree. Before that, we had a really weak Hal Jordan. He was very crazy. He was going crazy. He was killing people. You didn't see a lot. The 80s and 90s wasn't good for Green Lantern.
Okay, and see that again. That is also the time that I would have been noticing him.
And so the newer stuff is awesome. And, even the animated CG TV series that they put out.
So good,
wonderful.
Really,
it was very well written in certain.
A lot of the
it was very
animated
well written
movies that they put out, which is even better because Nathan Fillion is the voice.
Oh my
of
gosh,
Hal
the
Jordan.
animated origin story of Green Lantern, that is actually one of my favorite DCU movies that is animated.
Really? Yeah.
And Emerald Knights, so good.
So if you watch those, you'll probably get more of a respect for Hal Jordan.
That's actually when my respect came back for Hal Jordan was those movies.
Oh, I'll have to check that out.
But the older stuff, I will agree with that. And some of the other Lanterns are difficult too, but
wasn't Hal Jordan the first human?
He was the first human ever. And then we got, which is funny because it was supposed to go to Guy Gardner, but it didn't. It went to Hal because he was closer. But originally it detected Clark Kent, but it couldn't go to him because he wasn't human. Because he's Kryptonian and technically assigned to another sector.
Didn't he wield the ring for a minute? Or is that... No, sorry, that was Smallville. I think Smallville has the storyline. Never mind.
But, so Hal was, and then we got Jon Stewart. Then Guy Gardner, Kyle Rayner, we have Simon Baz, and now we have Jessica Cruz. So there's 6 now.
Ooh, I might have to look up
And there's only supposed to be 1 per sector. But yet, we have 6.
Because humans are crazy?
Yeah.
We need a lot of protection.
Well, there's just a lot going on.
Yeah, that does bring up a question. How come everything happens on Earth? I know once in a while I feel like something happens on...
They kind of did explain that with the Blackest Night series. With the Blackest Night, they introduced the spectrum of emotions, and every spectrum had its own color. And then there was black, which was death, and then there was the white light, which was the power of life. That resides within Earth, which is why there's always stuff happening here in comics.
Okay.
That's at least their explanation.
It works.
It works. It does. Yeah. So Earth is technically the center of the universe, or the multiverse, or whatever.
So it's in the center of all the other worlds that are pretty much stacked on top of each other.
Well, yeah, I mean, they explain how
big universe sandwich.
Everything pretty much started here. All the different emotions. We had rage when Cain killed Abel. There was will when the first, microorganism actually split and became a larger organism, and then there was hope and love and so on and so forth. So it was actually pretty interesting.
Or the fact that we just have the best food and space food sucks.
That's true. Apparently we have more imagination here as well.
That is true. Guy Gardner did open a bar on Oa, so there was better food
and better alcohol. Oh wait, I didn't say that. I'm just saying.
I'm just wanting to know how you know space food sucks. Are we talking Spaceballs space?
Because whenever you see it, it's always in a bowl and it looks like oatmeal, and I hate oatmeal.
Have you not seen Aliens or Spaceballs? Something bursts out of your chest when you're eating.
Right?
It's never good.
Never seen Aliens, but Spaceballs is my favorite Star Wars movie.
So Spaceballs, that scene, that's actually John Hurt. And he plays the character that the alien burst out of in Aliens. That's why he goes, not again. Which is just hilarious.
I did know that. Do I get some credit back that I did know that?
Yeah, no, I feel like
I'm
nobody
okay
knows
if you
that.
didn't watch
It's
Aliens.
awesome.
I have not seen Aliens because I was raised by
Alien.
a family that did not believe in watching movies with certain ratings.
But you watch those movies now, right?
It's more like I'm a
you know
chicken.
What? It's to the point where it got to one point in my life where I said, yeah, I want to watch those movies, and then I looked at the amazingly huge, daunting list, and I haven't gotten to that one yet because there are so many others that are just as equally as amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm still working my way through this list.
Apparently, I was not a deprived child because I remember seeing The Fifth Element in theaters, and I was like 8 or 9.
Oh, I saw that for the first time like 2 years ago.
What? What?
It's a great movie.
It's a great
Willis.
movie, but
Yeah.
what?
What?
I
saw Stargate when I was like 5 or 6 in the theaters, and I remember that one too. And
I
for some
remember
reason, I
wanting to watch
didn't get
Stargate, and
scarred.
my folks were a little bit worried about the content.
See, I had an
Thanks,
uncle
Mom and Dad.
that
right.
he has some questioning morals. Between 3rd and 4th grade, that summer vacation, I watched 8 to 9 horror movies a day.
Oh dear.
Nice.
Yeah. Wow. Needless to say, horror movies don't bug me at all.
That explains
Obviously.
so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because as a parent, my daughter's going to watch a scary movie. My only request is that she sleeps at night.
Yeah. You know, like, okay, take an
That's
example.
what melatonin is for?
Have you seen Nightmare?
Exactly.
Have you seen Nightmare on Elm Street?
But not on radio.
Have you seen Nightmare on Elm
Show.
Street?
Okay, actually, no, I have not. I've
Okay,
seen
that's
parts
okay.
of that, not
Right.
all of it.
Oh,
I know
what?
the, I know
It's
the
awesome.
premise
Yes.
of it.
You have and
Of
you
course.
have.
Yes.
I have not, but I know
Okay,
the
that's
premise.
okay. So,
I don't do horror.
guy, razor blade knives on his hands, clawing up teenage kids.
Ugh.
I watched that movie. You want to know what scared the crap out of me and gave me nightmares for weeks? When the guy answers the phone and a tongue comes out and wiggles around. That's what scared me. Not the fact that Johnny Depp gets sucked into a waterbed and
Johnny
a
Depp's
fountain-
in that movie?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And a fountain of blood erupts up and goes all over the ceiling. No, people getting cut up. No, it was a tongue
she's
coming
over here
out of
going,
the
"I gotta watch
telephone.
that movie."
I did not want to answer a phone for weeks.
I just didn't
I don't
realize
think
Johnny
I'm gonna
Depp
want
had
to
been
answer a
around
phone
that
just hearing
long.
about that.
Yeah.
It's The Shining. Like, I love it, and I love it so much, but after I watched it, I could not go in the shower forever. Like, I could not open, I had to leave my shower open because I was afraid that, But I
And
love
saw
horror.
Pet Cemetery when I was like
love
3 or
that
4
show.
or 5, and that has
Book is so
scarred
much
me.
better.
I
The
love
book
I
is so
don't
much
care.
better.
It scarred me
Oh.
against all horror, so
All right.
heck to the
That's
no.
fine. All right. Fair enough. Except for you should watch Evil Dead.
Yes, you should.
Oh, that's a great
It's
one.
hilarious.
Oh, hilarious I can do. If it's balanced. You know what I mean?
It's
I think
like it's.
if you're gonna watch
it's
Evil
supposed
Dead,
to
though,
be
you
a
gotta
horror,
watch the
but
whole
it's
thing.
more of a comedy.
Haunted?
Is that the
Exactly. If
one
you're
with
gonna-
who I think?
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce
Bruce
Campbell,
Campbell.
yeah. If you're going to watch
Evil Dead
Evil
1,
Dead,
2,
and then
Army
you gotta
of
watch
Isn't there a
Army of
TV
Darkness.
series right now?
There is.
Haunting in Connecticut.
I just
Not-
realized if
Oh,
Zach
oh,
is
no
listening
joke.
to this, he's gonna hate me.
Amityville Horror has Ryan Reynolds in it.
There you go.
He does get naked.
Yes, he does.
You're telling me
haven't
that
seen
like
the
I
whole
care.
exhibition movie of Ryan Reynolds.
I'm just...
Okay.
Haunting in Connecticut, if you want a good laugh. It is a scary movie, but not scary. Like, literally at the end of the movie, they're, like, chopping up the walls, and it's supposedly these bodies have been there for years and years and years, and they're, like, whole bodies, not skeletons. It's ridiculous. So, it's a good laugh. Horrible
Alright.
writing, but it's awesome.
Okay, so-
I mean, not awesome, but...
Hal Jordan, both times. Spider-Man.
Oh, are we back on topic?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm coming
crap.
back in. It's okay. Don't
All
worry.
right, Dan, what's your list?
My worst? Ant-Man.
What?
Okay,
That's
so
funny because
now
that was
let me
on my
explain.
mind, but I haven't
Hank
seen
Pym.
the
Oh,
movie, so I
stop.
felt like I
We're
shouldn't say anything.
I'm saying Hank Pym Ant-Man because he's a very abusive, horrible person.
Well, then you need
Okay,
to,
I agree with that. Unfortunately, it
then
is
you
true.
need to put the tick in there, too.
No.
Because if you're just going
No,
all
just the
Wait a
character
minute.
itself.
insects, we're just...
No, it's Hank Pym. The Hank Pym character is a very
The
abusive
tick.
person. He's extremely physically abusive to his wife, emotionally abusive, just a horrible character all around. And yet he's still a superhero.
Have you seen the Ultimate Avengers, the animated version?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, like that! I didn't want to watch anything with Ant-Man after
I
I
know.
saw that one. I'm like, oh my
No,
gosh!
which is why I really liked what they did with,
Paul Rudd
coming in as Scott. And we had Michael Douglas playing Hank Pym that was the jerk, but we didn't see all the jerkiness. And so we have a fun, goofy Ant-Man, which I like.
They played that very well.
Yeah, but the Hank Pym Ant-Man from the comics, no.
I agree.
Yeah.
I do agree. He's a
Yeah.
evil word that I can't say on the radio.
Yeah. He's like one of those guys that is taking a bag full of kittens and beating them up and throwing them in a canal.
Oh.
That's how bad that guy is. Not condoning that at all. Or he goes.
Oh,
he
well,
probably goes
don't
and
come
clubs
to
baby
my
sills.
house.
He probably goes and clubs baby sills for a living too.
There's a field full of kittens behind our house, and they like people to come and.
Pick them up.
Yeah, we'll say that.
All
yeah,
right.
pick them up. Let's
Yeah.
say that.
All right. So, worst character. There's our list of worst superheroes. With that said, let us know what you think, who you think should be on the list, and give us your thoughts. And with that said, we'll catch you next time. No one's saying anything. Get the
Oh, I thought we were doing the best superhero next.
Suck
We'll do another
it.
episode.
Oh. Because
that one's gonna
I
be a
have one to bring
long
up
one.
that has been mentioned.
All right. So stay
Uh-oh.
tuned for the next
Yes.
episode where we tell you the best.
Just because the world is without fuel doesn't mean it can't burn. Union Forest has unleashed a dragon upon the world, and it's hungry. Henry Morgan has to save his brother and face the dragon. Check out The Shadows Above the Flames, written by our very own Daniel Swinton and published by Immortal Works. You can find your copies on Amazon, BarnesandNoble.com, or anywhere books are sold. So go get your copy today and find out what happens to Henry and Rick.